Hello. Thank you so much for joining. This is Jean Dodier Ndaikeza. I will be your host, and I'm your host to this Change Me podcast. In today's episode, this is the moment we have been waiting. This is the start of the first season. The season talking about crossing borders and living in an asylum country as a refugee. Maybe I have to talk. Of course, I have to start with who I am. My name is Jean Dodier Ndaikeza. I'm Burundian. I have been living in Rwanda since 2015 as a refugee, and recently in 2022 I relocated to Europe. And a bit of my background: I did my high school in computer science, and I did my undergraduate from Southern New Hampshire University program in Rwanda, the Southern New Hampshire University in the US. The program is in management, concentration in operations and logistics. I'm the co-founder of Act for a Better Future, which is an initiative I co-founded with 11 of my colleagues in Rwanda, all of them graduates and students from Southern New Hampshire University, actually student graduates from the same program. We do three things at Act for a Better Future. If I can give a bit of what we do, we offer three programs or three services, I would say. The first one is the soft skills training. We co-founded Act for a Better Future ABF for us as young refugees to be able to solve some of our problems we face, which is one, lack of access to internet and computers, and lack of access to reliable information. So we host online sessions on different topics, writing, communication, networking, and different things. The second program we deliver is the mentorship program. We try to match young refugees with other young people who are in a better position to support them. This program was started with the main purpose in mind, which is to change the mindset and shift and be able to see that you are a refugee, but it's still possible you can do something and excel and reach your goals and your dreams. So we match young refugees with other young people or people in a good position to support them to think correctly and change the mindset. The third program is the application support. We provide access to internet and computers to young people in refugee camp. We mainly focus on Mahama refugee camp, but anyone from different refugee camps in Rwanda and all over the world can ask for a service. But we specifically support young people from Mahama refugee camp and all the other 5 refugee camps in Rwanda. We support them to apply on different scholarships available so they can be able to try their chances and see if they can win the scholarship and go to continue their education. In 2022, I was a trainee at the European University Institutes in the library. Really nice place where more than 80 nationalities are represented at the university. So multi-cultural and international community, which I really appreciate and learned so much from. I also made and worked with different people, which I believe gave me different experiences to live and continue excelling in my professional and personal life. Of course, if I have missed something, pretty much sure might have some questions to ask and something to know about me. Moving forward, I would like to introduce this season. This season is going to focus on crossing borders and life as a refugee, and specifically the first season, the first episode will focus on political situation and different reasons that led people to crossing borders. But in today's episode, I will specifically focus on what was the situation that led me and thousands of other young people, other families, other people of Burundi leaving the country, going to neighboring countries, asking for asylum and refuge, looking for a refuge in different countries. So welcome to this episode one more time. This is Jean Dodier, and this is Change Me podcast. Listen to stories of change. We will be streaming the stories of change, stories that have changed people, stories that have changed the narratives, stories that have changed how people think and act. Welcome once again to Change Me podcast. I have to excuse myself first of all. I'm going to talk about a sensitive topic, I would say, in this podcast. And I have been trying to reach on some of the experts and the people who know more about the story and when it started, actually, the political situations that led to the situation that happened in 2015. My apologies that I couldn't find one in time, so I can be able to talk to him or her and give different reasons and ideas and opinions, of course, and facts on why things happened. So the situation broke out in 2015. But to begin with, I will give a bit of the history and some of the information of what have been happening. It started, I would say, in 2000 and earlier 2000. Of course, I'm speaking in my time. I'm speaking in my time during my timeline. I don't want to talk about things that happened in 1972 and 1988 when I was not yet there, but I promised that I will have to bring an expert and the people who know more and give us a little bit of the deep conversations on what happened and what led to this to happen. So today I'm going to focus on the situation in 2015, which it's not a situation that started and continued in 2015. It's something that started even maybe decades before, but then led to something that happened in 2015. But I will have to bring someone who knows more and who will give us pretty much a lot of background and knowledge and history and different perspectives on why things broke out in 2015. So bear with me, but I will try my best to be able to give you a broad range of information and knowledge about what happened in 2015. I was there, at least. I'll have to promise that. Well, it started in 2015. It was in April. I was in Bujumbura. I was a student by the time in 2015. I was a student doing my secondary education, my high school. I was actually in almost finishing up. I was like 1 year and a half away to finish. But then April in 2015, the late President Nkurunziza, he was approved by his political party that he's going to represent the party in the next election, which led to all the situations to happen in the. So when they approved that the late President Pierre Nkurunziza will run for the third mandate. The late President Pierre Nkurunziza's decision to seek a controversial third electoral term, it caused the political strikes in the country, in the capital city Bujumbura by the time. The young people and the people in all over the city went in the street striking against the decision. But of course, the question here will be, why is that? Why did that happen, actually? I think two things happened here. One is that it was controversial, first of all, according to the famous Accord Arusha Accord. This is the peace agreement which was signed back in 2000, and the country have been running into wars, civil wars, fights, different groups, rebel groups fighting in Kibira and different part of the country. But at the end of the day, the ruling party by the time, the president and the other people from the African Union, or I think they in East Africa, they supported the two parties in the country, the ruling party and the opposition by the time, which was ended the FDD, which was led by Pierre Nkurunziza, who became the president by the time in 2005. So this Accord d'Arusha was famous because it was the one that stopped guns in different part of the country for the first time in the history. So it's famous and was very, very respected by the time. And the people of Burundi would really appreciated that. And the Accord d'Arusha said that the president should run only and only for 2 mandates and no third term. But then what happened in 2015, the late President Pierre Nkurunziza decided to run for the third term, which was considered illegal. Because Akol Darusha decided, or was saying that it's only 2 mandates. But then he claimed something very funny, I would say, that the first time he was appointed as a president by the parliament, he was not voted in by the population or the people of Burundi. He claimed that the first term is not counted according to Akol Darusha that took place in Tanzania. And the second thing is that he was not doing the job, I would say. Why the hell people will go to strike when you say you're going to run for the third term or for the next term? If you're doing something good for the people, good for the country, the people will be like, yeah, we want you. I think even though it's written like this, but we would like to have you and continue doing this. But people went on streets and striking, demonstrating against the decision, which means there was something wrong. Akol Darsha said something, but beyond that, there was something wrong, which is what I'm going to talk about today. And also, I promise I will invite an expert who will give us a bit of more knowledge about why this happened in 2015. So the political situation really continued, and the people, the young people all over the country, all over the capital city Bujumbura, went on streets striking, and the police started shooting the young people, killing them, shooting the people to death while striking on the street. The police were really killing young people. I remember the time I was there, then you would see a policeman shooting on young people on the street. And I imagine it was strange to me to see a policeman. Those are the people who were supposed to protect us. Those are the people who were supposed to say, well, if you were striking, strike in peace, demonstrate in peace, but don't cause any trouble. Show your stand, show your point. But those are the people who were shooting at us, shooting young people to death, to the extent they killed the innocent people who surrendered. They ended up killing those young people, and there was a stressing situation. And different international organizations, Human Rights Watch, watching really what's going on. But of course, it's the country and their people and the government killing the people. I think the international community didn't have any interest into intervening and do something tangible, I would say, by the time. But that's what happened in 2015. And the president ran for the term, and the strikes and everything continued, the fear and the people, and more than 50,000 people went to Rwanda, others in Tanzania, others in Congo, others in Kenya, Uganda, and all over the neighboring countries, and also all over the world. People went there looking for asylum. That was something. I think the country lost something very important. People left. Young people left the country. Those are the people who in the future will have been the strength and the marshals of the country, to run the country, to contribute to the development of the country. But unfortunately, they left the country. And trust me, when people flee their country, go in asylum, go live in refugee camps, they lose something. But of course, I cannot forget that they gained something as well. The people of the country lose something. They lose trust in you as the president. I still remember something I would say important that happened. It was on the second day of the strikes and demonstrations in the capital city Bujumbura. I was there. I was in a bakery somewhere. A family member had a bakery, and I was there, grabbed something to eat, and then the strikes started, so I couldn't leave the bakery at the moment. So I stayed inside, and I started helping the people who were working there, because I was doing nothing. I couldn't go home, even though it was like 5 minutes away, but I couldn't go because there were gunshots all over the place, all over the the city, so I couldn't move from that place. So I started helping them. I remember a person, a guy he was not in uniform as police or an army or a soldier. He just came and pulled a gun from his trouser, a pistol, and then he pointed the pistol as saying, "Get out of the house, get out everyone, because you're the one feeding the people who are striking, and you're the one also throwing stones on policemen." To be honest, I was scared stiff by the time, and I couldn't move that time. And my mind started thinking, okay, Jado, you will here going to school, but then they are going to shoot you. And I started thinking on death. And something happened, and I really appreciate the guy. I really appreciate. And I learned something here. I think when you have the responsibility you are given, they come with something very, very important, the confidence, and also to feel like you're responsible and you have to be responsible until the end. So I would say the boss, the guy who was the manager of the bakery, he was there. I still remember him, Olivier. He said, "No, we are not throwing anything to anyone, and we are not feeding the people who are striking. We sell breads and donuts, we are here, we work from here, and we are here since before even the strikes. And the people who come to buy something, we give them something. He or she give us money, so we are not feeding the people who are striking. If you see someone eating something, means that he paid something. He paid the money, and then we gave him the bread. So we are not feeding anyone." He insisted we go out, but then abruptly something happened. There was gunshots. 20 meters away. The guy with the other 3 colleagues he was with, they left us, and then that day we were saved. I still remember that. I was like, I survived today. I'm not going to even look outside. I'm waiting. If the strike stops, then I go home, then stay indoor for the rest of my life, I would say, until the strike stops and be able to move. That day, I realized when the political situations start, people die, innocent people die for nothing, just things happen, then you get shot, and that's it. I was really, really scared by the time, but I'm glad that I've been able to survive, and here I am. The third day, I still remember, I realized, okay, I am here in Bujumbura, so I can go to school in Bubanza. I was studying at a technical school, École Technique de Bubanza. I was doing informatique de maintenance by the time. So I realized I'm not able to go there to study. It's impossible. When I leave Bujumbura and then you go somewhere else, people will accuse you of being on strike. You have been in demonstrations, and then now you're coming here bringing the demonstrations here as well. So the intelligence will take you and imprison you and possibly kill you. So I realized I'm unable to go to school, and I decided to go home. From there, I insisted in my mind, maybe this situation is going to take maybe a couple of days and it's done. But things continued, people being killed, and I realized I cannot be able to stay indoor because they were starting to come to look for people in their homes, kill them for nothing, for no reason, because you are living somewhere in different part of the city, in that particular part of the city. So then I realized now it's impossible, and I might probably be killed. So I have to leave the city. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you enjoyed the episode, please share with friends, leave a review wherever you get your podcast from, and feel free to also please give us feedback to improve. Stay tuned until the next episode. Ciao.